As we enter today's second half, we're just one step closer to the weekend and even closer for a chance of rain. I'm Ashley Godwin, joined by meteorologist Simone Thomas. Simone, please tell me it's going to be cooler weather, fall weather. I'm ready for it.
You know, I know we're looking for both. We're making a run at a possible record high today. We're also making a run at the longest streak we've had so far this year of no rain. As of yesterday, we're up to 27 days with no rain. Now, in order for us to break into the top 10, we got to get up to at least 32 days. And if we can't squeeze out any rain today, we're likely going to get up to 28. And then through the weekend into the start of next week, we may be able to break into the top 10. But we are in danger of keeping this streak going. There's actually a little bit of rain moving through northwest Arkansas this morning associated with a front that's approaching. More of that rain cover starting to move into more north central Arkansas. As we continue overnight and that front moves further south through the state, we may be able to squeeze out an isolated opportunity for rain in central Arkansas, but that's going to be overnight. Through the rest of today, we're seeing fairly dry, fairly sunny. Temperatures looking to climb to those upper 80s. We could make a run for the 90-degree mark, which would make it the latest in the year we've tracked 90 degrees if we do so. I'll have a look though at those changes coming for your weekend and a better look at that possibility for rain in your 7-day outlook.
Developing this afternoon, we're working to learn more about an overnight shooting at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Our team first broke the news this morning. The video you're seeing was filmed by the Heat magazine on Facebook. So far, there isn't any indication the shooting is connected to the school's homecoming events. This afternoon, a campus-wide lockdown is no longer in effect. We only have limited details at this time. Right now, there's no word on if anyone was hurt or if any arrests have been made. Our team has been working since this morning to find out more. As we enter the afternoon, we'll continue following this and we'll bring you the latest. Turning now to multiple crime alerts, starting with a deadly shooting last night in Little Rock. Little Rock police tell us they received a shots fired call close to 6:30 on Thursday. After arriving to Ottenheimer Park, officers say a man was found dead after being shot. A second man was injured and taken to the hospital. Right now, we don't know who was behind this as the investigation continues. And from one side of the river to the other, a North Little Rock man is in jail this afternoon after admitting to killing his own mother. 74-year-old Catherine Martin died after being found suffering from extensive injuries at a home on Skyline Drive. That's also where Lance Martin spoke to officers, claiming to have assaulted his mother, later admitting to her death. Lance will receive charges tomorrow when he appears in court. In Russellville, police are actively searching for the man you see on your screen. Police there say he walked into a bank yesterday, threatening staff and demanding money. He ended up leaving right before police arrived. So far, there isn't any evidence pointing to if he had a weapon, but police are asking you to contact them with any information if you have it. We now want you to think about this. A national shortage of IV fluids is having a domino effect across the country and is now threatening the state of Arkansas. The reason behind the low stock of supplies is a direct response to Hurricane Helene. The North Carolina-based company Baxter International took a hit during the storm. Baxter is responsible for nearly 60% of solutions used for IVs. Now local hospitals are forced to find alternative methods for helping patients.
If a patient can take an oral fluid versus intravenous fluid, whether they're dehydrated, we're doing some of that. It really just depends on the procedure and what's going on at the time.
Jefferson Regional and Pine Bluff reports being in short supply by 40%, leaving them no option but to conserve what they have until demands can be met. Shifting your focus now to a mom with a mission, with the goal being to protect children with autism. David Schumann shares the emotional push to make a difference.
What you gonna play?
Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Okay, let's hear it.
For most of Daniel's life, he's tried to escape this house at every possible chance.
Good job.
A very common impulse for kids with autism, like him.
It is exhausting. It is exhausting mentally. It is draining physically, where you are constantly having to be one step ahead of your child.
Daniel's mother, Shaletta Brundage, tells us there have been some heart-stoppingly close calls, like once when he got out of her parents' home in Texas.
He is running full speed, flapping his hands and just having a good old time, headed to a 4-lane highway where cars are going 50 to 60 miles an hour in Houston, Texas. And thankfully, I was able to catch him before he got there because he wouldn't have stopped.
Then a few years ago, what Shaletta calls the game changer. Key-coded door locks for inside the house, keeping Daniel in, that cost about $30.
We turned the house into Fort Knox.
Shaletta now holds giveaways to get these locks to all families with autism. It started when a missing 4-year-old boy in Hopkins drowned this summer. This weekend, an 11-year-old escaped his home in Eden Prairie and also drowned. She's handed out nearly 600 of the locks. No charge, no questions asked, and another giveaway is in the works.
And it takes the anxiety and the fear and the worry away that my child may try to escape from the house.
The locks can also be opened with regular keys in case of emergency or a dead battery. David Schumann, CBS News, Minnesota.
In your election central, we've nearly reached the end of the first week of early voting. For voters in North Little Rock, that means time is ticking to decide on a new millage proposal. Supporters behind the initiative say its goal is to provide funding to a makeover across several schools in the area. A millage increase would make way for a new middle school and an indoor sports facility at the high school. The district opened the doors yesterday to North Little Rock's old main building. Potential voters got a first-hand look at renderings showing how the tax money would be put to use.
First one is to build a brand new middle school campus, which is very exciting. The second one is to renovate Old Main, historic Old Main. And then the third, which we heard from our community, was an indoor sports complex activity center.
The North Little Rock millage is already the highest rate in Pulaski County and is estimated to cost homeowners nearly $80 more a year in property taxes. As voters around the country make their voices heard, the presidential race takes a detour through Texas today. Nicole Skanga shares more on their different approach for appealing to voters.
Former President Donald Trump is focusing his final pitch to voters on his signature issue, the border.
Kamala's migrant invasion, given to us through gross incompetence, disqualifies her from even thinking about being president. We can't let that happen.
Trump is in Austin today to tape a podcast with Joe Rogan. The comedian has one of the most popular podcasts, especially among men, a demographic Trump has extensively targeted.
Get your husband, Hank, get the hell out of the couch, Hank. Get up, get that big fat of yours. We're gonna go and vote for the president.
Vice President Kamala Harris is also in Texas today, a state her campaign doesn't expect to win, but they're calling it the ground zero of the anti-abortion movement and think highlighting reproductive rights will help them win the battleground states.
1 in 3 women lives in a state with a Trump abortion ban.
Harris leaned into star power at last night's rally in Atlanta with Tyler Perry, Spike Lee, Samuel L. Jackson, and Bruce Springsteen.
I'm casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
She's making the case that Trump is only interested in vengeance, not the people.
It's either Donald Trump in there stewing over his enemies list, or me working for you.
Tonight in Houston, she'll get help from the Beehive when Beyonce joins her on stage. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, the White House.
It's not just the former and vice presidents in a race against time. Just ahead, how overseas competition is taking the lead in offering electric-only vehicles.
And we're making a run at a record high today. Our current record set in 1944 is 89 degrees. That also happens to be our forecast today. I'll have a look at the weekend ahead coming up after this break.